What's going on, my eaters? It's your boy Chef Drew, aka Chef, aka we are still talking to Miss Angie Reese of Angie's Cleaners. Y'all, last episode she really hit us with a great introduction into her story and who she is and a little bit about her business. We're just looking forward to continuing that conversation. But before we get there, Miss Angie, how you doing?
I'm good. You doing okay?
Good. I'm great.
For,
I'm great. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
How's the conversation been for you so far?
So far, so good.
Good. Well, we're going to keep it going. But before we do, please, y'all, like, subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you wonderful people and wonderful content. Let's go. So, Ms. Angie, I want to talk a little bit more about your business and business for you at the core. So far, you said it's been 20 years. What would you say, how would you say your road to entrepreneurship has been? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Would you recommend it? What would you say about your testimony so far?
My testimony is that you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. There's going to be times where you're just going to want to flat out roll on the floor and just give up.
Okay.
But while you're down there on that floor, you better pray.
Yeah.
Because the only reason we're here today is because the good Lord above.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of praying.
Yeah.
It took a lot of asking other people to pray for us.
Yeah.
I don't make as much money as other people think I do or other cleaners do because I give back.
Right.
I give back to my employees, or I give to others, or I'm paying for college for my son.
Right. But all in all, would you say entrepreneurship has been great for you? Has the whole journey been rocky? Would you recommend it to somebody?
Definitely.
Okay.
There's no greater pleasure in the world than to work for yourself.
I agree. No greater pleasure in the world than to not have to punch somebody's clock and listen to people and have them standing over you Listen, y'all, I'm not talking trash. I'm just saying, work for yourself. I've paid my dues. I feel blessed that I'm in the place, but you heard Miss Angie just saying, I concur, work for yourself. What would you say entrepreneurship has changed in you or has taught you?
It's taught me more about people. I've always loved people, but it's taught me to care more about people, to be more empathetic with people. That's probably the core of it right there, is loving people.
Yeah.
Even when they're mean to you, you still love them.
Right. Do you think is that just for customers or is that for your team?
That is for our team altogether. Our team is taught to come across very compassionately. Are there trying times in the day? Yes, there are very trying times, and they'll come to me, oh, Miss Angie, I'm about to yell at them, or you pray for them.
Right. Amen. So, Miss Angie, for me, I've talked about on this channel several times, for me, pillars in business. I've talked about differentiating myself in my business. I've talked about the importance of my team and the people that are around me to help me execute and some other things. What would you say for you would be, if you had to write Angie's pillars or Angie's commandments, what would be your pillars in business? I know you started touching on it a little bit, but what would you say your pillars are?
My pillars is you have to surround yourself with a great team. The next thing is you have to build up that team. You have to teach that team.
Right.
As long as you build and teach that team what you want and how you expect business to run, your business will not fail.
Right. So let me ask you this. For your team, do you feel like today, right now, in your business, you have the team that is your team, your people, or do you feel like that's still growing? Do you feel like you've had it before, but not right now? What do you think?
Right now, I have actually one of the best teams I've had in 20 years.
Yeah.
Because when you have 4 stores, it's very critical that I get the store managers in there that I want.
Hold on 1 second. She said 4 stores, y'all. That's not bragging, but I just want y'all to know this lady doing real business. Just saying. Okay, go ahead.
But I have to be very particular on who my store managers are, because I have to make sure that my young kids that come in every 2 to 3 years are going to get along with these people, and they're going to be able to direct them and build them up and teach them what the real world is about. And that's what I build my managers up for. My young kids, I have a very open relationship with my young kids. I joke around with them, but I'm also very direct with them, and I don't sugarcoat anything. But most of them, they love that. Most of their parents tell me I'm their second mom.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you have a great team around you. And if you have a great team around you, then you
I was talking to Aziz Hashim, and Aziz Hashim was the individual. He brought KFC, the first Kentucky Fried Chicken, to Atlanta during the Olympics. What was that, 1996, in Atlanta. And now he's gone on to do a whole bunch of other stuff. But I was having a conversation with him one time, and we were talking about the team. And he told me, and I've never forgotten it, he was like, you build your team. He said it took him 20 years to finally have the team that he felt like he needed for his business to really blossom and explode. So I say that to say, you know, you said right now you feel like you've had one of the best teams you've ever had.
Yes.
You also have multiple locations, so you interact and deal with a whole bunch of people. What would you say the difference is between, like right now, your team of people that you have around you right now versus when your team isn't everything that you want it to be?
When the team is not everything I want it to be, it's very hard. It's very hard to coach them, and trying to get someone to do what you need them to do or do what you want them to do. You can't make somebody do that. And there's other ways that you can tell someone that they need to leave and find another way other than just firing them.
Right.
I think I've only fired 2 people in my 20 years. But
Right.
There's other ways. There's nice ways that you can come across, well, maybe this is not the profession that you need to be in.
Right. I'm a firm believer, y'all, people fire themselves. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
You let them know certain things, and sometimes you got to help them fire themselves. But yeah,
and you're exactly right. And that's how I do. I let them fire their own selves.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing to me.
Right.
And I hope they're blessed when they go.
Right. So you said you've definitely talked about faith. You've talked about the importance of your team. What are there any other pillars for you that you say you stand on or your business stands on?
Pray for my team.
Yeah.
Every day I pray for my team. If an individual comes to me, say they need to borrow money or they need prayers or their daughter's in the hospital or whatever, I pray with them right there in my office.
Yeah. Awesome. Look, y'all, listen. I love this. I was not expecting this, by the way. I love this, though. Like I said, we're Christians. If you are not, whatever you're doing, whatever you believe, wherever you are, for us, it's Jesus Christ. But wherever you are, I hope one of the things you're pulling out of these videos with Miss Angie is, and you've heard it from me over and over again, you cannot do business by yourself. It has to be something stronger than you guiding you through. Because let me tell y'all something. We're talking about people specifically, right? People are difficult to deal with. And me personally, I don't know about you, Miss Angie, I got a very short fuse with food for foolishness and people. If it wasn't for something greater than me, I promise you, I would not be able to cook food for people. I promise you. I'm telling you for real. This young lady would not be able to have the business that she has if she didn't have something greater than her guiding her and pushing her through. So let that be foremost right now what you're taking away from our conversation today. The purpose of these interviews and these questions is to help the person coming up. The person who is trying to be where you are, who is trying to be where I am, or the person who wants to, but they aren't ready to jump or they don't think they can jump. What would you say to that individual practically right now to encourage them, to help them, to motivate them to step into their business or the next level of their business?
I would, because when we bought our business, we prayed and we prayed and we prayed. And it was almost like it was an empty prayer because I wasn't feeling anything. But it wasn't until we actually bought it that I actually knew that was the answer to my prayer. And that's what a lot of people, they say, well, I'm praying, but I'm not feeling anything. Well, your prayers are right now because they're not being fulfilled.
Right.
In what you think is the timely manner.
Right.
But I would give the person encouragement. I would help that person. I would build them up. I'd do anything. I'd go places with them to help them motivate themselves to build it. What I find a lot in small business is a lot of your friends and stuff do not promote your business because they're jealous of you. It's very important that small businesses support other small businesses and build them up and puts them out there.
Right. Absolutely. So we have heard you say that you started this business 20 years ago with your mom. Now you have 4 locations. When you started 20 years ago, was the goal 4 locations? Was the goal, we're just going to do this right here and see where it goes? Tell us a little bit about that part.
There again, it's all by faith. We bought our Thomas Crossroads location in 2004.
Okay.
At that time, we just thought, okay, just one location. It's the production factory. We're good.
Right.
The fall of 2008, the crash of 2008 came, and we struggled.
Yeah.
We struggled bad. And there's other stories that I can tell you at another time about that. But 2010 rolled around, and we were finally getting back on our feet. There was a place over in Peachtree City that opened up, and it had a drive-through.
Okay.
So me and my husband were out riding one day, and we said, maybe it'd be awesome to have 2 locations. So we stopped in, we looked at it. Following week, we signed a contract on it. In 2012, we bought our Noonan Crossing location because we did the work for the lady that owned it because we had the production factory for it. She came to me in 2011 and said, "Oh, Miss Angie, just make me or please buy my business. This is the price I'm asking." And it's like, I can't do that. I just opened Peachtree City a year ago. I cannot do that.
Right.
So we continued to do her work. She came back to me in 2012, flung up her hands and said, "You know what? Just make me an offer. I don't care. I'm going to sell it to you. Just make me an offer."
Really?
And it's like, okay. So I went home, talked to my husband. We sat down with them, signed the paperwork, bought it. And that's how I ended up with my 3rd location.
Okay.
Our Sonora location had been in the works since 2017. Actually, my chiropractor's office came to us and said, "Look, we'd like to put you in our new building," so on and so forth. And that is the only shop that has been built from the ground up, and we were actually able to do the whole inside ourselves.
Really? Oh, wow. Why do you think there's all sorts of stuff you could be doing? And you said you had experience here, there, doing different things. And I often ask myself this question. I told you I've always kind of had this thing for the cleaning business. I've never done it, but I've always been like, if I had extra money, that might be something I'd check out. Why the cleaning business? You could do doing anything. Why clothes?
Why clothes? I don't know, but that's where I'm supposed to be. That is where I'm supposed to be. It could have been any business that was brought to my mother's table at that time in 2004. There was actually another business, but we said no because that's not where I belonged.
So y'all listen. When she said that just now, I want y'all to know I felt like a mule kicked me in my chest. Because I just feel like what someone needs to hear is that sometimes your business, your passion, your vision can choose you. She just said she wasn't laying around thinking about, creases and starch.
No.
You know what I'm saying? She wasn't sitting around thinking about 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. Her business, her future chose her. And so I think that's very important to tell and highlight because sometimes, especially as visionaries, we put a box around ourselves.
Yes.
And what that box will do is sometimes we'll find ourselves in a situation where a pivot is required. But because we've put this box around ourselves, we don't recognize the season has changed and it's time to move. And so, y'all, there might be someone out there right now who just kind of feels like, I don't know. There might be someone out there who doesn't know what they want to do, but they know they don't want to work for nobody no more, or they know they want something different. There might be someone out there who is like, yo, I just want some financial freedom. Because I'm a firm believer, I don't care what no one says, you will always make more money working for yourself than working for somebody else. So if for nothing else, if you want to make more money, find something you're good at and turn it into a business. Yes. But I just think that is absolutely great, y'all. Your business, your vision can find you if you wanted to, if you're open to it. We are always here to excite you, to educate you, and most importantly, to empower you into your business, into the future that you want for yourself. Miss Angie, thank you so much again. Until next time, guys, we are gone. Like, subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you this content. Take care.